On today's Smart 7, US President Carter laid to rest, Los Angeles wildfires burn on and much more. It's Friday 10th of January, it's Houseplant Appreciation Day, and happy birthday Rod Stewart and Lucy Lewis.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
The LA fires continue to rage, with 5 distinct locations still in flames as thousands of firefighters continue to battle the blazes. So far, at least 10 people have lost their lives and thousands of homes and buildings have been destroyed. The wind conditions and an ongoing drought appear to have created the perfect conditions for fire to spread, but police are investigating the source of at least 2 of the fires, with a suspect arrested near the Kenneth site. Incoming President Trump has seized on the fires to criticize California Governor Gavin Newsom.
This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. The water comes from, you know where? Up north.
Difficulties with the water tank system in the Palisades have been amplified by conspiracy theorists, but Mayor of Los Angeles Karen Bass says there's no truth to rumours that budget cuts or systemic water shortages played a part in the spread of the fires.
There were no reductions that were made that would have impacted the situation that we were dealing with over the last couple of days. Money was allocated to be distributed later on.
Thursday saw the funeral of former US President Jimmy Carter, who lived to be 100 years old and passed away on the 29th of December. America marked the occasion with a national day of mourning, and a ceremony in the National Cathedral in Washington came after events in Georgia and his body lying in state in the US Capitol building. All 4 living US presidents attended the funeral, including Donald Trump, while Joe Biden gave the eulogy for a man who was a longtime friend.
Jimmy Carter's friendship taught me the strength of character is more than title or the power we hold. It's the strength to understand that everyone should be treated with dignity, respect.
Trump and Obama were seen chatting at the ceremony, which was also attended by outgoing Canadian PM Justin Trudeau and former UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown. It was an event filled with fond memories and loving tributes, including this from President Carter's grandson Jason.
50 years ago, he was a climate warrior who pushed for a world where we conserved energy, limited emissions, and traded our reliance on fossil fuels for expanded renewable sources. And by the way, he deregulated so many industries that he gave us cheap flights and, as you heard, craft beer. Basically, all of those years ago, he was the first millennium.
The NHS has been in the spotlight again this week as Prime Minister Keir Starmer proposed a new partnership between the NHS and private healthcare, while West Streeting has been asking for more time to cut down waiting lists after years of neglect. The system is under massive pressure as the winter flu has seen huge spikes in hospital admissions, and new figures show that 2024 was the busiest year on record for accident and emergency and for ambulance services. The chief executive of Royal Berkshire Hospital, Steve McManus, was sounding an optimistic note, though, as his team worked to keep things on track, and says waiting times for ambulances reduced.
I'm really pleased to say, because of the sort of joint work over the last couple of days from our teams, and yesterday we only had 2 ambulances that were delayed more than 60 minutes. We are seeing a slight improvement.
The Home Office announced on Thursday that it had deported over 16,000 refused asylum seekers and overseas criminals since the election in July. That number is up 24% compared to the previous 12 months and reflects Keir Starmer's belief that quick returns are a more effective deterrent than projects like the Rwanda scheme. Foreign Secretary David Lammy weighed in on Labour's ongoing plan to smash the gangs behind people smuggling across the Channel. He gave a major speech on foreign policy on Thursday, which included recognising that the so-called Cold War era of peace is over and that global security is on a knife edge. He's also proposing a new regime of sanctions and freezing of bank accounts of those involved in smuggling gangs.
A realistic strategy involves transactional, hard-headed diplomacy, so together that we can strengthen borders, smash the gangs, and get those with no right to be here returned to their countries.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Everton make big changes and Sylvester Stallone is back on the typewriter. Right after this. Welcome back. Everton's new owners, the Friedkin Group, made a big splash on Thursday as they sacked manager Sean Dyche just hours before Everton's FA Cup clash with Peterborough. It's understood that former Everton boss David Moyes may be set for a return, but club captain Seamus Coleman and under-18 coach Leighton Baines took charge for Thursday evening's third-round FA Cup game. The evening also saw Sheffield United beaten 1-0 by Cardiff and Fulham knock Watford out with a 4-0 victory. The new boys at Everton did well, winning 2-0, and Seamus Coleman was proud of the response from the team, even if he didn't get much time to prep for the new role.
It was very late. It was very late for us both, and listen, we're both Evertonians, and I always say, whatever Everton need from me, I'm going to be there. And tonight they needed me to stand beside Leighton and help him, and I was more than happy to do so. And I think it was good for the lads to get a win as well.
Thursday saw the Screen Actors Guild Awards announce their nominations for this year. Wicked topped the list with 5 nominations, including nods for Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo and Jonathan Bailey. The Bob Dylan movie A Complete Unknown got 4 nominations, including one for star Timothée Chalamet, and Shogun picked up the most nominations in the TV category with 5, just ahead of The Bear. There was a surprise snub for Angelina Jolie, who missed out for her role in the Maria Callas biopic, with Pamela Anderson getting a nomination instead for her work in The Last Showgirl. She told Seth Meyers that her Broadway role in Chicago was a huge help.
And I was so afraid. I mean, I didn't know if I could sing or dance or act on stage, and fussy choreography. So I just dove into that, and I realized, okay, I can pretty much do anything if I can do this. So it gave me some confidence going into this. It was really a warm-up.
If I say Sylvester Stallone, the first word that comes to mind might not be writer, but he's actually been nominated for an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Rocky, and in fact he wrote many of his biggest hits, including Rambo and The Expendables. He's back at the typewriter for a new action thriller starring Jason Statham called A Working Man. Statham plays a former Black Ops agent turned construction worker who ends up with one last mission as he searches for his boss's daughter who has been kidnapped by a sex trafficking gang. It hits cinemas in March.
Where's the girl? You a cop? You wish I was a cop.
Yo, these guys are next level.
Look at those bricks. You ain't a cop. You're a working man. That's right. Let's play.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, we'll give you the world.